black. The rasping breath of Darth Vader fills the void. His mechanical breathing is a symphony of pain and power. He stands amidst the inferno of Mustafar, a newly forged monster. We see a flashback, fragmented and brief. A younger Anakin, his face contorted in anguish, screams as a fiery wave engulfs him. Cut to Coruscant years earlier. Anakin, still a Jedi Knight, walks through the Jedi Temple. His brow is furrowed. There's a flicker of doubt in his eyes. He is haunted by visions, glimpses of a future he desperately wants to prevent, but the darkness is seductive, whispering promises of power in his ear. Nolan's lens delves into Anakin's psyche through a series of fragmented flashbacks, each more revealing than the last. These flashbacks are not just mere glimpses into his past, but are windows into his soul, exposing the raw and unfiltered emotions that have shaped his destiny. We see his childhood as a slave on Tatooine, where the harsh desert conditions and relentless labor were his daily reality. The innocence of youth was overshadowed by the weight of survival, and the dreams of freedom seemed like distant stars in the night sky. The pain of his mother's death is a wound that never truly heals. Her loss is a pivotal moment, a catalyst that ignites a fire of anger and sorrow within him. This grief is a shadow that follows him, influencing his every decision and action. And his growing fear of loss becomes a constant companion. This fear is not just about losing loved ones, but also about losing control, losing himself to the darkness that lurks within. These memories are not presented linearly, but woven into the narrative, echoing themes of fear, anger, and the seductive nature of power. The non-linear structure mirrors the chaos within Anakin's mind, a mind torn between light and dark, hope and despair. Each flashback offers a piece of the puzzle that is Anakin Skywalker, revealing the raw emotions simmering beneath the surface. His internal conflict is palpable, a storm of emotions that threatens to consume him. His fear of loss, fueled by premonitions of Padme's death, becomes a vulnerability that Palpatine expertly exploits. These premonitions are not just visions, but harbingers of the dark path he's destined to walk. The audience is given privileged access to the internal struggle raging within Anakin, making his fall all the more tragic. This struggle is a battle between his love for Padme and his desire for power, a battle that ultimately leads to his transformation into Darth Vader. The film would heavily emphasize the contrasting personalities of Anakin and Obi-Wan Kenobi. Obi-Wan, ever the stoic Jedi Master, embodies reason and adherence to the Force's will. He represents the light, even as the galaxy around him crumbles. Anakin, on the other hand, is impulsive and driven by emotion. He wrestles with his inner demons, torn between his loyalty to the Jedi Order and his desire for power to protect those he loves. Their differing philosophies, once a source of strength, become a chasm driving them apart. The visual style of Revenge of the Sith under Nolan's direction would be noticeably darker and more atmospheric. The vibrant colors of the prequels would be muted, replaced by a palette of blacks, greys, and deep blues. The sterile environments of the Republic would be juxtaposed with the gritty underworld of Coruscant and the volcanic wasteland of Mustafar. This shift in visual tone would reflect the moral decay eating away at the heart of the Republic. We would see the gradual corruption of Anakin Skywalker mirrored in the decaying environments around him, culminating in the fiery hellscape of his final confrontation with Obi-Wan. Section 5, Whispers of Doubt, Philosophical Seeds of Conflict. Dialogue would play a crucial role in establishing the film's philosophical underpinnings. Conversations between Anakin and Palpatine would explore themes of free will versus determinism, the corrupting nature of power, and the seductive allure of forbidden knowledge. These exchanges would not be mere exposition dumps, but rather subtle manipulations designed to plant seeds of doubt in Anakin's mind. Palpatine, a master manipulator, understands the power of suggestion, slowly chipping away at Anakin's faith in the Jedi Order. Section 6. The Weight of Choice, a Master Manipulator. Nolan's version of Palpatine would be even more cunning and manipulative. He is a master strategist who plays on Anakin's fears and insecurities. He understands the young Jedi's desire for power, subtly tempting him with promises of knowledge beyond the Jedi teachings. The film would highlight Palpatine's manipulation as a series of calculated moves, like a chess game where Anakin is both pawn and opponent. This slow seduction, built on half-truths and carefully chosen words, would make Anakin's eventual fall feel tragically inevitable. Section 7. The Masks We Wear, Duality and Deception. The concept of duality, a recurring theme in Nolan's work, would be central to this reimagining. It's a theme that resonates deeply within the Star Wars universe, where characters often grapple with their inner conflicts and the dichotomy of light and dark. We would see it not only in Anakin's internal struggle, but in the very fabric of the galaxy. The constant battle between the forces of good and evil, light and dark, would be portrayed with a new intensity. The Jedi, once guardians of peace, are now embroiled in a war that compromises their values. Their struggle to maintain their principles while being forced into combat would highlight the moral ambiguities of their role. The Republic, founded on democracy, crumbles from within due to corruption and greed. The political landscape is rife with deception, and the very institutions meant to protect the people are failing them. This theme of duality would extend to the characters themselves, particularly Anakin and Palpatine. Their interactions would be charged with tension as both navigate their own paths of deception and ambition. Both present a carefully constructed facade to the world, masking their true intentions and desires. Anakin's journey from a hopeful Jedi to the dark Sith Lord Darth Vader would be a poignant exploration of this duality. Anakin hides his fear and anger behind a mask of bravado, struggling with the expectations placed upon him and his own inner turmoil, while Palpatine conceals his true nature behind a veneer of benevolence. His manipulation of Anakin and the Republic would be a masterclass in deception, showcasing the dark side of political power and ambition. Section 8. A World Consumed by Shadows, Practical Effects. In this section, we delve into the artistry and craftsmanship that bring the Star Wars universe to life through practical effects. Nolan's preference for practical effects would be evident in the film's action sequences and portrayal of the Star Wars universe. His dedication to authenticity would ensure that every explosion, every crash, and every moment of tension feels real and immediate. Lightsaber battles would be more visceral and grounded, emphasizing the weight and power of these iconic weapons. The choreography would be meticulously planned to showcase the skill and intensity of the combatants, making each clash of lightsabers a moment of high drama and excitement. Space battles would be awe-inspiring spectacles, relying on miniature effects and innovative camera techniques to create a sense of realism and grandeur. The use of detailed spaceship models would add a layer of authenticity, making the audience feel as if they are truly witnessing epic interstellar conflicts. This emphasis on practical effects would ground the film in a sense of tangible reality, even within the fantastical setting of Star Wars. The detailed sets and props would allow actors to fully immerse themselves in their roles, enhancing their performances and the overall believability of the story. The audience would feel the weight of every lightsaber blow, the rumble of every starship engine, enhancing the visceral impact of the narrative. This commitment to practical effects would not only create a visually stunning film, but also a deeply immersive experience that resonates with viewers on an emotional level. The tangible reality of the effects would make the fantastical elements of the Star Wars universe feel more real and immediate, drawing the audience deeper into the story. Section 9. The Birth of Vader, a Descent into Despair. The climax of the film, Anakin's transformation into Darth Vader, would be a gut-wrenching spectacle of despair and horror. We would see the last vestiges of Anakin Skywalker consumed by the dark side, his body broken and twisted by the fires of Mustafar. His cries of agony, both physical and emotional, would reverberate throughout the theater, leaving the audience emotionally drained. This scene would be more than just a visual transformation. It would be a psychological descent into the abyss. We would see the light extinguished in Anakin's eyes as he fully embraces the darkness, his spirit broken by loss and manipulation. Section 10. Echoes of the Past. Whispers of the Future. The film would end on a hauntingly ambiguous note. We see Darth Vader, his suit complete, rise from the surgical table. His mechanical breathing fills the soundtrack. The final shot is a close-up on his mask, reflecting the image of a burning Jedi temple. The ending would leave the audience contemplating the cyclical nature of power, the seductive allure of the dark side, and the devastating consequences of unchecked ambition. It would serve as a reminder that even in a galaxy far, far away, the battle between good and evil rages within us all.